The next one, we've got a talk on gamification from Jega Manoharan. Jega has been an international speaker in the areas of team leadership and team effectiveness for over 30 years. He's also a business simulation designer and leading authority in game-based learning. His practice of pushing boundaries in the learning landscape keeps him in an exploration mindset. Please welcome Jega. Thank you. And I've got a clicker for you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? Great. Okay, good. You know what? You have a lot of information today. You know, Manoj basically screwed everybody's heads up right now. You know, we are thinking, oh, what am I going to do next and all. So what I want you to do is, right now, let's just relax a little bit. Can we relax? Sure. So let's please stand up. And I just need your assistance to just stand up. Don't have to run anywhere. I'm not going to ask you to do anything different. Just do some light stretching, okay? Just stand up there. All right. Oh, thank you very much for starting the stretch, okay? Right. Okay, good. So what you're going to do is just, okay, since, all right, you can actually stretch out as long as don't injure the person next to you, all right? So just stretch out this way, all right, and put your hands down, move your shoulders a little bit, all right? Shall we play a game? All right, shall we play a game? All right, great. So I want to invite you to play a game, you know, a game of how do we going to expand our business, okay? So put your hands out this way. Okay, this is your business, right? Put your hands out here, okay, right? No, not this way, this way. All right, Ken, okay? All right, good. Now, you flip it the other way around, so it faces outward. Face outward, okay? We're going to expand the business, right? We're going to expand, okay? Now, I want you to take your right hand, place it over your left hand this way, and have a feel of good grip of your business. Are you feeling the grip of the business? Okay? Can you all check with your neighbor and tell your neighbor that I have a good grip of my business? Say that to your neighbors, guys. Okay? All right. Now, while you're having a good grip of your business, this is what I want you to do. Observe very carefully. From this good grip, I want you to flip your hand and touch your chin. Why are you all doing yoga positions? Okay, never mind. It's okay. Sit down, sit down. It's all right. We'll figure that out as we go. Do not worry. Inability to complete that exercise will not affect your progress in your business. Okay? Now, what happened over there? Shall I tell you what happened? Some of you probably know already. Okay? You know what happened just now? Here's what happened. I told you to take your business. Then we wanted to expand the business. But in the process of expanding the business, we must have a good grip of our business, right? We must know what business are we in, and because before you actually embark on any change, we got to have a good, solid grip of the fundamentals of the business. And then we looked at one another and checked on each other and said that I have a good grip on my business. You know, every one of us going after targets, right? Targets being number 1, number 2, number 3 in the industry, winning the awards and all that. The thing is this, what happened was, while everyone had a very good grip of this business, somebody changed their game. Shall I do that again? Everyone had a good grip of the business. While everybody had a good grip of the business, oh, you can see that, right? Somebody changed their game. And when you change your game, you change your outcome, while everyone else was trying to figure out what to do, right? My name is Jega Manoharan. I'm a business simulation designer. I design games for learning. I don't design video games. I do not know how to do programming, but I design games for learning. And I'd like to invite you to this journey called The Explorer's Way, Leading in an Unsettled Age. Now, when you look at outside, whenever people come up with different ideas and someone changed their game, what is the normal response of people who did not change their game? What do they say? Unfair? Unfair, right? Oh, these guys are not doing it correctly. You know, they did something, and we always say this word called, it was unfair. Guys, this is not the slide that we changed, right? It's okay, don't worry about it. We'll move on. Explorer's journey, okay? All right. So what people will say is, it was unfair. Why is it unfair? The reason it's unfair was because somebody else did not do what we expected them to do. However, if we keep saying that it was unfair, the next question we're going to ask is, whose fault was it? Okay, we're going to ask people, whose fault was it? But the thing is this, asking whose fault was it, or where the fact that it's unfair, is not going to take us anywhere in our journey, right? So what we want to do is, I want to invite you to ask a different question. The different question is, how can we play a different game? And for that, okay, I'm going to skip one slide here, right? And I want to invite you to this thing called, see, I design games, and I watch people play games. And when you see people play games, it is inevitable that you start seeing the world in a different context too. Okay, you start seeing the world in a different context. And you start seeing the world as a game too. Life is a game. Business is a game. Everything else is a game. And there's two kinds of players in this game. One is called the settler, another one is called the explorer. Okay? The settler is the one who is within a settlement. Okay, within a settlement. The way they operate is on the basis of this: rules, boundary, authority, limits, SOPs, standard operating procedures. And that is how a settlement is operated, because you want some order in the settlement. On the other hand, you have another one here in this side of it, which we call as the explorer. And the explorer operates on a total opposite fashion. What the settler will say, this is the rules, we have to follow by these rules. The explorer will say, what rules? Common sense. Doesn't hurt you, doesn't hurt me, doesn't hurt everybody. What's the problem? Let's do it. What what the settler sees as boundary, the explorer sees as a horizon. And I am going to explore something right now. Okay, good. Thank you very much, guys. Okay. Sorry, the screen just changed, okay? Is that still working? Okay. All right, okay, good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right? Sorry, guys, it's just a bit of a glitch in the presentation. All right? So, what the settler sees as a boundary, an explorer sees as a horizon. And our boundary is when, as you go closer to the boundary comes closer to you. But a horizon works very differently. Horizon is, as you step towards the horizon, you will never reach the end of the horizon, right? It will reveal a new horizon. All right? So a settler, explorer goes on a basis that there's always anywhere I can go. I don't have to follow any rules. I can explore anything. I can discover anything. And they are driven by this powerful concept called curiosity. I think just now someone told this on stage as well. Curiosity, and you're going to hear that more after this, curiosity. But actually, whenever we say this, they say, oh, that means we all have to be explorers. We should not be settlers. Not really. There is some element of settlers which are actually vital in the business world. Because settler is all about keeping the settlement in order. Okay? You have orders, you have safety, security. Now, for example, if anyone here is from the oil and gas industry is about oil exploration. But you do not want the guys working on the platform to explore new ideas. You want them to follow standard operating procedure. Otherwise, you will literally have fireworks on an oil platform, right? But however, that very order, safety, security, and balance, that very thing that kept us safe is also precluding us from creativity, innovation, and the need to discover something better. But come to think about it, it's necessary for us all to take on the explorer's journey. The reason is because the once upon a time settlement that we have, if somebody can guarantee that this settlement will always be there, we don't have to be explorers, right? Settlements are there, safe one, stay there. However, we cannot tell whether this settlement is going to be around. COVID-19 gave us a preview of what can happen. I mean, none of us thought it would have happened, right? If 2019, if I came and told you, the whole world is going to shut down, you will say, come on, you conspiracy theories. But then it really happened. The whole world literally got shut down. So leaders today need to take that leap of, what do you call that? Leap of? Not faith. Leap of necessity. You develop your faith as you go. And explorers develop their faith as they go. Take the leap of necessity, develop the faith as you go. And the thing is this, actually, all of us used to be explorers when we were kids. When you started your career, remember the time when you joined a career, you were full of excitement and all that, and the boss says, we're going to change our old system, we're going to implement a new system. What do you say? Yes, sir! No problem, sir. I'm only 2 weeks old in the company. I don't understand any system. Show me a new one. Show me an old one. I won't be able to tell the difference. And I'm full gung-ho. Look at these old people in the company. Do not want to change. I am ready for change. And you put all your energy, excitement, and all that, and you deliver the first project successfully, and you get your first Medal of Honor. There's a bit of bounce in the walk right after that. You updated your resume. Then second project came about. Ma'am, no problem, ma'am. I can deliver this thing. It'll involve late nights, No problem. I'm not even married for the start off, right? So I can definitely work this out. And you deliver the second project, and then you get your second Medal of Honor. And then you do the third project, and you get your third Medal of Honor. By this time, you don't have to have much bounce. You walk with a little bit more style. Next project, you're going to do another project, and the vocabulary has changed also. From yes, sir, to there's a bit of risk, right? We got to be careful. Don't take too much risk. I know what I'm talking about. Let's do it carefully. No problem, we'll deliver that, and you deliver the third project. Fourth project, I lost count. All this experience. Right. But then, the walk is no longer bouncy or stylish. You just have to walk a little slowly. Why? Heavy responsibility. In fact, you don't have to walk very fast because people can hear your arrival even before you're there. But then, this is a little bit too heavy. What happened in that? Suddenly the CEO will come and say, we got a new project, AI is coming in, and we are going to transform. Wait, transform? What transform? We just changed the system. Yes, I know, it was 15 years ago, I was involved in it. It's working, right? Why change it? Don't rock the boat. Don't break what is not broken. Or don't fix what is not broken. Suddenly we get very Zen-like philosophical statements that come out. No, actually, we just want to change some things. And change. What, AI? How come I was not in the circular? Nobody informed me about this change. I know it's just a suggestion, but you need my permission even to suggest. I know what I'm talking about, right? Now, what happened in this whole journey? This is heavy, man. All right. What happened in this journey is, very early, there's an explanation to that. Very early in our career, we operated from this field called strength, our position called strength. But the law of universe is like this. The more you focus on strength, strength will reward you. Strength will always reward you. And that reward will come in a form of promotion and what we call as power. Focus on strength leads you to power. Nothing wrong. That's good. For as long as the spotlight is on the area of strength. Here's where the challenge is. Once upon a time, we were in strength, and we started getting a lot of power. If we are not careful, unconsciously, subconsciously, unknowingly, in the cover of darkness, the spotlight can suddenly shift from strength to power. And you have to understand how the human psyche works. Strength, we will ride on it. The rule of strength is you will always ride on your strength. But power operates a little differently. Power, you will always protect it. Power will demand protection. Okay? Strength, we ride on it. Power, we demand for protection. So what I want is that I would like to invite leaders to take that leap of necessity to keep that spotlight in the area of strength, regardless of the power that we get. And that means, while we acknowledge the power, for the next journey, we may have to travel a little lighter. I'm not saying we are going to throw all this away. We're going to acknowledge it, but maybe it's time to keep that aside, knowing that I can always go back to it when I need it, but we're going to stay in the domain called strength, because the journey forward will require us to travel a little lighter in where we want to go. So the first thing is, let's focus on building our strength. Power is great. We've got all the things that we got, but maybe it's time for us to take that shift, put it aside, because the journey, the explorer knows that along the way, you will gain a lot of medals. Along the way, you will get a lot of gift, but you can't carry all of them in the next journey. So we may have to remove them a little bit, put it aside. We know where we kept it. We can always go back to it, but it's time for us to be a little bit more nimble, agile, childlike, and explore new possibilities. How many of you know this bank? KBZ Bank. Anyone here from Myanmar or worked in Myanmar? Okay, you know KBZ Bank. The largest bank in Myanmar. They are like the Bangkok Bank of Thailand. But Bangkok Bank is much bigger, okay? Right? They are much, much huge compared to KBZ Bank, okay? So now KBZ Bank, okay. The animation may have a bit of glitch. I can see it over here, but it's okay. Tag along. This is an explorer's journey too, all right? Right. So KBZ Bank did this thing called KBZ Pay. They launched this thing called KBZ Pay. Now, KBZ Pay, in 4 months, they achieved 1 million users. Okay? Within 4 months, they achieved 1 million users. And not only that, they actually achieved 3 million users in a period of 11 months. Today, I think they are like about 13 or 16 million users. Every second, there are thousands of transactions actually happening. Now, the unique thing about KBZ Pay is they launched these two different icons here. One is a blue and one is a red. The blue is actually a merchant icon, and the red is what we call as agent icon. Now, what is a merchant? What is an agent? Merchants, you all know, right? Those who run businesses, you can pay through merchants. The red icon, which is actually the agent's icon, is a little different. You see, in Myanmar, they have this problem called the unbanked population, not unbankable. Unbankable means they are bankrupt, okay? This is unbanked. Unbanked means they don't have a banking account. How do you get them to open a bank account? And Myanmar, you know, it's as big as Thailand, okay? There are a lot of rural areas, and there are some states that you don't even want to go inside, unprotected, okay, because of different armies and all that over there. But how do we get them in? You can't be putting ATM machine. Opening a branch is very, very expensive. Most countries today are consolidating branch, not opening new branch. So what they did was, how do we get ATM machines over there? Where is cash in most places? Retail outlets, right? restaurants and all. So what they did was, they turned all the restaurants who wanted to join as agents. If you have a KVZ Pay, you can look at a restaurant or retail outlet that has a red icon, go there and say, I would like to withdraw X amount of money, could I do that transaction? And you do the transaction, the agent actually gets a transaction fee for that. Not only that, they had about 16,000 employees. All 16,000 employees became agents overnight. So you have a bank, if your neighbor works in KBZ Bank, it's an ATM machine next to your house. You can actually go there and ask for money and all. If they have it. If they don't have it, it's fine. But if they have, they can actually do withdrawal and can do deposit for you. Now, the thing is this. When I was talking to one of the GM, he's from Malaysia. He is right now over there in the GM in one of the divisions. I asked him, David, this is so great. This was back in 2018. And in Malaysia, most of the banks were trailing behind tech companies. The fintech companies are the ones who actually blaze the trail in electronic transaction. The banks were trailing. I said, why? The banks actually had all the money, right? I mean, they can really do stuff. What is that that made them not embark on something like this? And he told me something very interesting. He said, see, Jega, what happened in our country or even anywhere else around the world is that we started with branch banking. From branch banking, we went into ATM. From ATM, we went into check deposit. From check deposit, we went into cash deposit. From cash deposit, we went into internet banking. At every juncture, we were having challenges. So much so, the word compliance became the mantra of the banking industry. Problem is this, the word compliance has been said so much that it turned people into someone who is fearful to try something new. Then I said to him, okay, are you saying in Myanmar there's no compliance? No, there is compliance. The person who was leading KBZ Bank that time was Mike Denoma, award-winning, World Bank award-winning banker. And he said that there's going to be risk. But if we don't calculate our risk and do something, we are not going to be able to open new channels. And they did that. Was there risk? Yes, there was. But one thing is that they had, that I think, challenge in many organizations have is that they had this thing called an obsession for discovery. A deep obsession to discover new possibilities. And the people that were young, right? The people who wanted to implement this were young people, and they came from the former junta army. I mean, right now it's under military rule again, but that period there, they did not see much of progress. So when they saw this progress, they said, like, let's jump into the bandwagon, let's make it happen. And the app actually worked out very, very well. Now, sometimes when we look at it, we say that, are explorers reckless people? No, we are not. Explorers are actually not reckless. They are actually people who have common sense and make sound risk assessment. The challenge we have today with the word compliance is that compliance becomes an alternative word to don't try anything new. Right? I want to do this. Hey, wait. Compliance. Compliance. Hey, I know it's a good idea, but remember compliance. Basically what they're telling is that don't give me new work. I'm going to retire in about 8 years. Let me retire peacefully. AKA compliance, right? So I'd like to invite all leaders here. Time has come. Now, I'm not saying that we jump into the bandwagon and just go and try out any AI system out there. We got to get a grip of our own business. We need to understand what it is, but we have to start somewhere. Implement something in our own industry. Where we can start, I leave that to you. There's a lot of tools that's being shared today. You're going to hear a lot more after this. A lot more ideas. There's going to be a lot of talks during the lunch breaks and all. Let's explore new avenues. But we got to start somewhere. So 2 important things here. Number 1 is that focus on building strength. Focus on the strength that we can actually build. Let's put that weight aside and jump into the category called strength, and let's build our strength. Not only our strength, the strength of the team, because we owe it to them. The last thing we want is that 10 years from now, or 5 years from now, or maybe 3 years from now, somebody coming and telling that I was made redundant in this organization. While we are going to adopt, we want to develop their critical thinking skill, and that is going to be very, very vital. just recently, we use AI for certain report writing in our organization. And that day, one of my colleagues actually prepared something and came and told me that she prepared something and said, like, okay, this looks good, looks nice. What does it mean? And she said, I don't know, it came from ChatGPT. It's okay, but don't lose the rational ability in the process of implementing artificial intelligence, right? So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite you to look at your business, look into possibilities on how to expand them, get a grip of your business, but while everybody is busy, you can play a different game. And if you play a different game, you will change your outcome. My name is Jega Manoharan, and thank you.
Thank you, Jega.
Thank you.
Just to let you know, one of my compliance partners is sitting in the audience. I could feel the daggers coming out of the eyes at you when you were mocking compliance in our industry. It was interesting, the talk, the comparison between the settlers and the explorers, and I wonder, Jega, are we educating our children to be settlers? Certainly, perhaps in this part of the world, there's a lot of talk about the Thai education system, and I think it is training people to be the settlers, follow the rules, be settled, and stay where you are.